Trade Agreements. Lina Marcela Zapata Posada, UMB Virtual. What are trade agreements? Agreements that allow the removal of tariff barriers and free mobilization of goods, services, and people, creating better opportunities for economic growth for the country and the company both nationally and internationally, to improve the level of orders of products and services with the end consumers who can meet your requirements with products and services of greater competitiveness to help the economic growth of the countries. What are the different forms of integrations? Area of customs preference is the area where preferential treatment is given to products from countries that make up the bilateral or multilateral agreements. The preferences that are granted are tariff concessions. Free trade zone. It is a multilateral agreement which was signed between the countries in order to eliminate trade barriers between them. But each country is free to define restrictions if its economy may be affected. Free trade zones keys to generate movement of goods and services in the established area. In this area, the member countries of the agreement maintain barriers to trade with the rest of the countries. Customs Union. It is a free trade area to where members adopt a common tariff on imports from third parties. An example is Mercosur. It is, as well as the customs unions, is an agreement between countries and goes of pursuit of the elimination of trade barriers between country members, a common tariff policy towards other countries. Economic Union is the market where establishing a single currency and economic and monetary policies are adapted to a single money market. Each country is subjected to a common monetary discipline to maintain the types of change within authorized allowance. It is characterized by having an equal fiscal and monetary economic policy, and you are looking for is to generate economic stability to member countries. Common market. The common market is a form of economic integration characterized by generating free mobility, factors of production, capital work, where the mobility and goods, services, capital, and people is looking for, and the latter are rented benefits such as approval of university degrees or working abroad, generation of employment, social security. Political union. Integration requires the transfer of national sovereignty to supranational institutions and therefore requires strong political will. Taking into account the types of economic integration, one can speak of a full economic integration that occurs when within a trade agreements are met free trade in goods and services, common external tariff, free mobility of factors and policy economic. What are the types of trade agreements that Colombia has with the rest of the countries? Below are described the conventions, agreements, FTA, bilateral and multilateral negotiations that Colombia has to facilitate international trade negotiations. Colombia has today signed agreements. Economic complementation. This is a denomination which uses Latin American countries to sign bilateral agreements between countries with the aim of increasing trade among its member countries. Colombia toward the GEL's 2013 assigned two economic complementation agreements: Colombia-Cuba, Colombia-Brazil, Colombia-Argentina. FTA. Free trade agreements are bilateral agreements signed between the two countries. Colombia and 2013 5 FTA enforced. FTA Colombia-Mexico G2 seeks to deepen trade relations and improve the conditions of access to markets. FTA Colombia-Chile seeks to create opportunities for negotiations and strengthen trade relations between the two countries. FTA Colombia Northern Triangles, Honduras, Salvador, and Guatemala. Seeks to promote investment from the Northern Triangle. FTA Colombia-Canada should have agreed integration of trade with Canada since the will brings to the Colombia preferential access. FTA Colombia-United States seeks to have commercial advantage of a permanent nature. Tourist preferences. Colombia currently has 40 three-time tourist preferences in force. Australia General System of Preferences. It seeks to contribute to the economic development of developed countries. Bulgaria General System of Preferences. It seeks to contribute to the economic development of developing countries. Canada General System of Preferences seeks to provide assistance to developing countries to increase their export levels. United States General System of Preferences seeks to promote the economic growth of countries in development. Russian Federation General System of Preferences, based on the Agreement on Trade and Development, seeks to promote the development of countries. Norway General System of Preferences seeks to contribute to economic development of developing countries. New Zealand General System of Preferences seeks to contribute to the economic development of developing countries. Switzerland General System of Preferences seeks to contribute to the economic development of developing countries. Turkey General System of Preferences seeks to contribute to the economic development of developing countries. European Union GSP General System of Preferences, looking for help with the development, eradication of poverty, and the promotion of sustainable development. Regional General System of Preferences, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Ecuador, Mexico, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, and Venezuela offers lower tariffs to improve free trade between countries. Hungary General System of Preferences seeks to contribute to the economic development of developing countries. Japan General System of Preferences seeks to contribute to the economic development of developing countries. Agreements to avoid double taxation. Colombia has current 4 agreements to avoid paying double taxation, and then community with Peru, Ecuador, and Bolivia. Colombia, Spain, Colombia, Chile, Colombia, Portugal. Multilateral agreements. ALAD, Latin America Association of Integration. Agreements signed between Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Cuba, Ecuador, Mexico, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, and Venezuela. Its main objective is to create a common Latin America trade within a flexible framework through bilateral multilateral and sub-regional relations. Advantages: bilateral of highlighting product of positivism to create the objective condition for overcoming the consumption of the national lives, promoted the conclusion of a series of bilateral inter-Latin American agreements on scientific, financial, technological, physical integration, among others. Disadvantages: disadvantage of the region with respect to the rest of the world lie in much more sophisticated and independent product sectors. In general, natural resources in the realm such as mechanical, chemical, and electronics, and the national community. Trade agreements signed with 5 countries: Chile, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, and Bolivia. Its main objective is to promote the balance and harmonious development of countries members in conditions of equity, through integration and economic and social cooperation, accelerate the growth of the generation of occupations. Advantages: you get a greater capacity for negotiation of the international stake. This is due to the that the economic bloc that emerges from the Union consolidate up the most important in America. Disadvantages: can be to think that the sovereignty of the country is giving the transfer powers to a supranational body that is responsible for managing the common subjects, such as external tariffs. CARICOM, Caribbean Community. It was created with the goals of promoting economic integration and cooperation among its members, so that the benefits of integration are equitably distributed and coordinated foreign policy. This market comprises Bahamas, Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua, Barbuda, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, San Cristobal, Nevis, Santa Lucia, San Vicente, and the Grenadines, amongst others. Advantages: the signing of the treaty is a good opportunity for trade because the vast majority of the countries have high dependence on important products. Disadvantages: inequalities inside of countries' political, economic, and social systems. FTAA, Free Trade Area of the Americas, a project that was born with the purpose of expanding the North American Free Trade Treaty to other American countries, with the exception of Cuba. Advantages: common rules in the field of competition and intellectual property, strengthening the negotiating capacity of the hemisphere against the parties and improvements of market access in services, government program, and an eventual adoption. Disadvantages: it is all one dependency of foreign investment. Mercosur. The common market of the South is a regional integration process initially established by Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay, to which in later stage have joined Venezuela and Bolivia, the latter in the process of accession. Advantages: the free movement of goods, services, and factors production among countries, the establishment of a common external tariff, and a common commercial policy. Disadvantages: asymmetry between the countries involved, and most of agricultural products are competitive rather than the complementary. Thank you.